What's going on, everybody? It's Donnie, man. Just wow. Did you guys see that game yesterday? That game was so good, I might as well let it replay on FIFA so that we can talk about it. Because yesterday, history was definitely made. So let's go ahead and select the teams. I'll throw in the real kit so it has more of an appeal. Let's just look at the teams. Oh, actually, I can't select the teams because I'm not really going to be playing. I just want to talk about the game, but just to have a nice backdrop, you know, like we'll just let the game play. Barcelona PSG was that for me was probably the best game I've ever seen in modern football, you know, modern soccer history. Just because what Barcelona had to overcome to win that game, it was unbelievable. It was absolutely unbelievable. So let's go through the game and let's just go through how this score came about.
Was a fantastic race for
the first leg. Barcelona played terrible. You know, they really didn't have any offense going. They looked weak. They looked tired, slow. You know, it didn't really seem like Barcelona had any desire to even play in the first leg. So yesterday, on to the second leg we go, and you know that Barca is down 4. To be down 4 goals in the Champions League by itself is already ridiculous. But I personally had a feeling that Barcelona can come back from this. The way I saw it was the following: if Barcelona scores quickly in the game, which they did, they would have a very good chance of coming back. And I also thought that maybe somebody will get sent off, which didn't happen, even though I believe, was it Verratti? Is it Verratti? Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought it was Verratti. He should have gotten a second yellow right before Barcelona scored anyway, but he should have gotten that second yellow to get for a red, and then the whole game would have been different. Even if it was 2-3 minutes, because then you're defending with a one less player. Now, keeping that in mind, how Barcelona came out of the game, they came out attacking. They came out strong. They came out fast. You know, and Paris Saint-Germain, instead of playing the same way they did, they didn't really need to attack. Paris Saint-Germain never needed to attack. All they needed to do was have an outlet for the ball to go up. They didn't really necessarily have to make plays or dribble. All they had to do was contain Barca. But where Paris Saint-Germain messed up was that they allowed Barca to press, which I cannot understand what the plan was, the tactic. I don't understand. I don't understand why, if you're up 4, you think you're gonna play Barcelona by defending them the whole game. Luis Suarez scored in the 3rd minute. And then I said, okay, 1-0, 4-1. Okay, maybe Paris Saint-Germain, they're gonna change their tactics, right? They can't play like that the whole game. It's ridiculous. Even look, if you're looking at the screen now, it's almost a perfect example. This is a perfect example right now of how Paris Saint-Germain was playing. Defensively, look. Defensively, no outlet. Barcelona pressing and Jordi Alba actually commits a foul in the game. That's funny. But defensive, Paris Saint-Germain not pressing. Also, the mistake that Paris Saint-Germain made early was not having Cavani in the middle, at least the middle of the field, so he can be an outlet for when the ball is cleared. Because what ends up happening is Paris Saint-Germain will clear the ball every time, but since they had nobody to really kick the ball to, the ball will come back to Barcelona every time. And then there will be so much pressure on PSG that Cavani would try to stay, kind of look where the ball is in here, maybe a little bit more in Barcelona's half to try and get the ball back. But as a result, once they kick the ball away, the ball will come back to Barca. So the pressure of Barcelona alone was already high. Now, mind you, when Suarez scores, it's 1-0, it's 4-1 on aggregate, right? Now, you think that Paris Saint-Germain will change the tactics? No, they don't learn. Barcelona keeps pressing. What happens? 2-0. Iniesta scores. Now that Iniesta scores, it wasn't a dangerous situation yet, because listen, at 4-2 and you're going into halftime, you get a good halftime team talk. It should erase the mistakes. It was a mental mistake. I'm not gonna lie. We'll get into the referees. We'll get into the referees so far as a lot of people are saying, oh, the refs are against Barca. I mean, the refs are for Barca, this and that. Listen, it's a point that I'm gonna make later, but I want to make these points in order. So, as I was talking about, Iniesta's weird back heel, which somehow got turned into an own goal by Kurzawa, if I said his name right. Kurzawa, right? It was a defensive mistake. First of all that needed to happen was the ball needed to be cleared. Since they want to play out of the back, again, the ball does not get cleared, and what happens? Barcelona gets the ball back. Barcelona is so good at keeping the ball that if you decide to play your way out of the middle, Barcelona is going to press. Barcelona's look. It's crazy how every time I'm talking, it's like a perfect example of like what I'm trying to say. It's weird. Ah, damn, he lost the ball. Every time Barcelona attacks with everybody. So that means that if you can beat the first two men in the middle, then you have a really good chance on the counter. That's what they were doing the first game. That's why the first game they were so effective, because that one pass that they had beat at least two midfielders. So now Barcelona was stretched. But this game, they couldn't do that. So what ended up happening is Barcelona had enough pressure on the ball all the time to always have it. And once you have that, you're prone into making mistakes. And like I said previously, Cavani is not back in their own attacking half. So you have nobody to clear the ball to, so the ball keeps coming back. Iniesta gets the ball in the middle. There's no reason for the ball to go into the net. But it does, you know. So now it's 2-0. It's 2-0. I still think at that time I still thought, you know what? It's hard for Paris Saint-Germain to come back. What happens? First, let's see, 40, 50. The first penalty. I actually thought this one right here, I actually thought that was a penalty. I didn't think it was cheap. Defenders going down. He loses the battle with Suarez. I believe it was Suarez, correct me if I'm wrong. And he kind of puts his head trying to like take him out. You could honestly give that as a penalty because at the time he was beaten. You know what I'm saying? So I actually think that this one was a penalty. I think the referee got that absolutely right. You know, you can't really be in the box trying to block your player or in any way hinder him from going forward, because that could be called. And before he called it, he actually talked with the goal line referee, and the goal line referee is right there, and he saw it too, even though that's another video of how I think goal line referees don't do much. But he saw it, and I give this one as a penalty call, I give it a 60%, 60-70% call, because you cannot be beaten as a defender and then try to recover by blocking or try to just hinder him, because they're gonna go down, and especially how Barcelona plays. Barcelona is tricky, so you can't be in the box trying to do any of those things, and Messi scores. This is the 50th minute. Now it's 3-0. Now I'm saying shit, because now Paris Saint-Germain has lost all the momentum in the game. They completely forgotten the whole strategy that they had from the first game. For some reason, I don't know why, I don't know what the coach said, I don't know, I have no idea what was said, I have no idea why they decided to go this way, but there was no reason at this time for them to be down 3. At least maybe 1, definitely 1, but I didn't think they should have been down 3. But now what happens? They get a lifeline. They actually get a lifeline. They actually get a lifeline through Cavani. But hold on, I actually want to make sure that the rest of the video. Actually, I'll just continue. They actually get a lifeline to Cavani. Cavani scores, and this right here is key. Cavani scores. Now that Cavani has scored, it's 3-1. But since this was an away goal, it counts. It basically counts as an extra goal, because in football, sometimes being the last team to play away from home is hard. So what they came up with a long time ago, I don't know how long ago this was, away goals rule. So it's hard to draw. So the away goal itself for PSG actually counts twice. So if there was ever a draw, the team that drew and the last team to score away, like if both teams basically drew, and the last team to score away would actually win on away goals, because it's hard to play away in like the second leg. And actually on the right time, we're actually going into the second half. That's what I wanted. Now Cavani scores. So instead of scoring 1 more goal, now Barcelona needs to score twice. Now here's where I completely lose my shit, because now that Cavani scores, I said game over. I said game over.
The second half for you.
Because I said there is no way that Barcelona is now, at this point, Barcelona needed to score at least 3 more times. Because remember that Cavani goal counts double now.
Yeah, I don't think there's any choice there from the
and total to win the game, not overtime, to win the game, Barcelona would have to score 3 more times.
It's a reckless one.
What happens? Kickoff. Barcelona press. Paris Saint-Germain plays the same way. Barcelona keeps pressing. At this point, Paris Saint-Germain is just scared. They're scared. But they shouldn't have been defeated, because the second goal, but at this time you thought that Paris Saint-Germain should have no reason to fear Barca, because even as good as Barcelona is, there is no way you allow a Champions League side to score 3 on you in, let's see, 50, 88, 95. So maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops. You allowed them to score 3?
Julian Draxler.
You allowed them to score 3.
Kurzawa.
Look at the screen. It's kind of funny how FIFA captures, how FIFA can capture the games. Look, this is exactly what Barcelona's doing. Barcelona has the ball. Barcelona has the ball here. There's always somebody for Barca to pass the ball to. If you decide not to pressure, most of the teams are just too good, and they're gonna win. They're gonna pressure you. And they're gonna find a way to get around it. And that's what happened. Neymar scores. Oh, Neymar actually scores in the 88th minute. Neymar scores with a free kick. Right? And to me, this is crazy. This is crazy because I thought that the goalkeeper should have saved this one, and nobody's really talking about that. Nobody's really talking about that. The goalkeeper should have saved this. If you look at the weak side of the goal, which is the side that the goalkeeper is at, he doesn't even dive for the ball. He doesn't even dive. He lets it go. He really lets it go. To me, that is worse That goal right there and the own goal was worse than the two penalties, because Barcelona scored so many goals that we everybody forgot about the free kick. That free kick should have never gone in. No, there's no way that a Champions League goalkeeper can be beaten, let alone a professional goalkeeper, from the weak side of your goal with a wall. There's no way. There's no reason. There's no reason to be beat from that short side. Now, fast forward to the penalty, and fast forward directly to the referees, because a lot of people have been making noise about the referees and saying that it was rigged, it was against Barca. The first one was a penalty. The second penalty, I think is questionable. Oh, look, Di Maria actually scored in our game, so maybe if they played like that, they would have actually been through. But yeah, the second penalty, to me, the second penalty was questionable. I don't think it was a foul. I honestly don't think it was a foul. I don't think the second penalty should have stood. I actually, Suarez, everybody knows how Suarez plays since the World Cup. Remember when Suarez had that handball against Ghana? It was against Ghana. This was in 2010. And then Asamoah missed the penalty, and Uruguay went to win the game. Suarez is like this. We all know Suarez likes to dive. There are a couple of players in world football, they love diving. But I don't think this one, you guys can argue with me on this one. I don't think that was a penalty. I think it was soft. I believe it was Marquinhos, I believe it was. At the time, correct me if I'm wrong, had minimal contact with Suarez, and he was, you know how, as sometimes if you play defense and the ball gets crossed into the box, to defend yourself you're gonna put your hand up. But Suarez, the way Suarez goes, he backs up into him and then dives, throws himself to the floor. To me, it was a dive on Suarez, and it was a very, in that standpoint, I felt like the game was so entertaining. Why not make it more entertaining by giving another penalty? That one was soft. To me, that was a soft penalty. It should have never stood. But at that point in time, nobody's gonna care for Paris Saint-Germain, because, like I said previously, the second goal was their own doing, and that free kick was also their own doing. So the tactical mistakes that they had made early in the game ends up costing them now, because now they're defending for their lives just to hang on and win. They're defending for their lives. At this point, it's 5. It's 5 at this point. You know what I'm saying? The mental stress that it has on a professional footballer to have let in 5 goals. Mind you, the history associated with this, because nobody has ever seen something like this. That's why a lot of people, like, I'm not a Paris Saint-Germain fan, but it can't be good waking up this morning. It can't be good. It can't feel good. There's no way that a professional side in the Champions League should let in 6. And the sixth goal to me was plain. It was plain and simple. It was plain and simple. Sergio Roberto was not offside. Again, Paris Saint-Germain failed to clear. Now at this point, nobody's playing up. Everybody's defending, and against Barcelona, they're tactical geniuses when it comes to playing short 1-2. So the first time when they played the ball in, it actually didn't work, and then they got a foul. And I was talking about the foul on Verratti, even though it's late in the game and it didn't really matter. The foul on Verratti fouls again. And now look what you have. You have a free kick coming in. All they have to do is clear it. They have, how Sergio Roberto gets on this ball, I do not know, because the defenders that Paris Saint-Germain have are way bigger than Barcelona. Barcelona are not good in the air. He gets beat. Ball gets to him. He taps it in. Questionable goalkeeping again from Trapp, I believe. Questionable goalkeeping again.
the verdict on added
because
time is 2 minutes.
you know the ball is coming in, but again he makes such a lame, weak effort at the ball that at this point
Gives away the free kick.
they deserve to lose. Paris Saint-Germain deserves to lose this game 100% all day, every day. The second penalty I thought was questionable. The first one, you can give that. Other than that, how do you let this happen? How it's hard to imagine being up 4 in one game, you know, against Barcelona, achieving that, and then still finding a way to fuck it up. Just, you know, it's unbelievable that happened. Like, I know Barcelona is good, but this should have never. Barcelona is a good team, but even they outperformed themselves because of the mistakes that Paris Saint-Germain made, and that's the truth. That's the honest truth. And you can argue all you want, talking about UEFA loan or UEFA this and that. You can't. Oh look, they score again. See, exactly what I'm saying. Look how big Paris Saint-Germain against the Barcelona. It's unbelievable. There's no reason for them to lose this game.
I'm afraid the winners deserve this margin, which is being confirmed by this very late goal.
Yeah, it's been a,
you know, in football, there's going to be days where you're going to see history, either good or bad. Brazil lost that horrible way against Germany. I remember that. Even though people have kind of kicked that out of their memory, I'll never forget this. I'll tell you that. Because you can be a decent team and beat Barcelona, but you can't expect to beat Barcelona by sitting back the whole game. And that's basically what happened. And that's how somehow Barcelona is through, scoring 6 in one game when they were down 4 from the first game. Maybe it's a consolation that Paris Saint-Germain wins the game here, but you know, just to let that sink in. Like, go watch the highlights again of that game and then tell me what you saw. Even if you don't really watch the sport regularly, you know what I'm saying? You can't be down 4, losing 4 goals, then letting 2 more goals get scored on you, all because of bad tactics. It was bad tactics. Horrible tactics. Yeah, you cannot let this happen. But Paris Saint-Germain did, and that's why they are where they are. This is your boy Donnie with another video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts though. What did you think of the game? What did you see in the game? Like, let me know. Like, I want to know. Let's discuss it. Alright, hopefully I'll see y'all next time, and peace out.